What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Stella Herself podcast. First of all, thank you so much to everyone who's been listening. Thank you to everyone that shared this on their IG story last week. Don't forget to do that. I love the aesthetic pics, the aesthetic boomerangs, even the screenshots. But as always, it's just so cool to see who listens, and it just makes it a lot more real. You know what I mean? First of all, I want to apologize if you're watching this on YouTube. You know, I had to change my setup a little bit, and I feel like the lighting in the last podcast video was so bad. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited to move, because I feel like this apartment just doesn't really have, like, this unit does not have good lighting for me and what I want to do, because, you know, we have this great bar area, but you can only sit on it from this side, so then I'm backlit, and then I don't know, whenever I'm sitting facing the window, the background is just ugly. So hopefully in this new unit, hopefully the one that I want, the setup is just going to be a lot better and a lot more making sense, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I want to have it be cute. Yeah, I can't wait, dude. Like, I can't wait to have a cute desk area. I want to make my podcast just, like, better. I've been feeling very inspired and excited recently, which is interesting because I'm in my little recovery mode for 6 weeks. 3 weeks now. By the time this podcast goes up, less than 3 weeks, like 2.5 weeks. So, I don't know. I feel like, just as an update, let me tell y'all how I've been doing. I feel like because I see the end in sight, you know, as of today, it's 22 days, which that's less than a month. Bitch, we've been in lockdown for longer amounts of time than that, you know? I just feel like, okay, let's make use of this time that I have where I can't really do that much. I can't work out. I can't go out. I can't do anything. Yeah, I can see my friends if, like, they come here, but then it's like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna, like, lay on the couch. I don't know. So a time where there's minimal distraction. It's like, let me do all my planning and really get my mind right. I've been listening to affirmations again. I've just really been getting back into that zone and that flow. So it feels exciting, because part of me was like, damn, is this gonna suck? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this past weekend, it was nice as fuck out. So I had to really just, like, not watch people's IG stories, because just that FOMO, you know? And it's interesting because I feel like so many places are going back into lockdown, or, you know, vaccination. It's just so hard to get vaccinated. But California, especially LA County, has just been doing so good. So it's like, I feel like, you know, in the winter, last winter or this past winter, it was like, you know, I would see people going out and whatnot, but it was like, I didn't really feel that FOMO, because I was like, y'all just are dumb. Like, who wants to go out in this state? Because it was like very bad here in, I think, like, January. But now it's like so good. So I'm like, damn, I can't wait for these next couple of weeks to go by, because it's just, oh my God, like, I'm just so excited. So how are y'all feeling? How are y'all doing? Let me know if you're not doing too good. Just know that everything is temporary, because, bitch, I have felt like just so many things over this past year, you know? And I actually saw a TikTok. I think I mentioned this in a vlog, so you might hear me say it twice, but this girl made a TikTok, like, why was October 2020 to, it was like February 2021 or something. But why was that time period so bad? And so many people in the comments were like, yes, oh my God. And that was, like, so bad for me. Like, I don't know. I think it was because that was, like, my major lockdown. Like, after, of course, the first major lockdown. It was, like, the after summer. Just, oh my God, that was so bad. But what I've really, like, realized more and more as I get older is that, like, I mean, obviously there's, like, you can go through something that gives you long-lasting trauma, so I'm not trying to say, like, oh, like, haha, everything, I don't know. But it's like time goes by, you know? And as far as just, like, everyday things, even like not even something crazy, but just like say you don't want to, say you have like, I don't know, stress about going to the dentist or something. It's like, I know for myself, it's like I would always just think of everything up to that point. But then it's like the time is going to go by just like it would if you didn't go to the dentist. And there's going to be a point where you leave and you like, it's over. And like, I kind of feel the same way about a BBL, you know, like for months and months, I was like anticipating it, like dreaming about it, just like stressing over it, whatever. Like, oh my God, I have to go to surgery. That's so scary. Like, oh my God. And it's like, it's over. I don't know. It's just weird. Like time goes by. So again, that's not to like say, oh, well, if you're not in the moment, it can't affect you anymore. But as far as just like noticing that, and especially with like everyday stuff, like, oh, I don't want to do this, or like, oh, I have stress about, I don't know, going to the dentist. It's just like the lowest key thing I can think of. Yeah, it's like time goes by. Also, it's like, I know the reason why, but I was thinking about how if I was like in high school now, it'd be like almost time to graduate, you know? And it's crazy because September honestly seems just like a few months ago. So it's weird that the school year used to feel like so long, but obviously it makes sense because, you know, you're having new experiences, you're learning stuff, you're interacting with people every day, and that slows time down as we've learned throughout quarantine and whatnot. But yeah, like, oh my God, school years used to drag the fuck on. Like, it would seem like a lifetime. And now it's like a year can just go by like that. So you really have to like I know I've talked about this before on this podcast, especially this past year with lockdown and everything, but you really have to like form those new pathways in your brain by switching up your routine, reading a book. Like, y'all know the fucking drill, but like time just flies. Oh my God, it's just weird. I kind of hate thinking about it, but whatever. So it is Taurus season now, so shout out to all the Tauruses. I'm a Taurus rising, so I guess I feel y'all. I don't know. I never really related to a Taurus though. I don't know. Like, you know how you have some signs that you just seem to attract so much? It's like Taurus really isn't one of those for me. So even though I'm a Taurus rising, just not really relatable. Not that I have beef, but I just feel like certain signs, it's like you're just so familiar with. And that's not really one of them for me. This is from Refinery29, which love their articles. The sun has moved into stable, dependable Taurus. The theme for this season is growth. So you have to think, you know, it was Aries season, which I was talking about this on IG Live, but I feel like I really prefer fire and air seasons, even though in my interpersonal relationships, I typically go for like an earth or water sign. And not romantic even, but just like, I feel like those are the type of people that I am usually more drawn to. Obviously it depends, but you know what I mean. But like a fire sign or an air sign season is just so much more like energetic, should I say? I don't know. So we've kind of gone from like this, you know, crazy, maybe a little all over the place Aries season to this more stable, productive sign, which really goes along with the fact that, you know, it's spring now, growth, things are growing. The second sign of spring, when the seed begins to grow, and our new beginnings from the previous month should start to show some growth. It's also Taurus is also, you know, the planet of Venus, which is like sensuality almost, not even just romance, but just like the physical world, like physical pleasures. You probably know the stereotypes of Taurus is like they just want to lie down and eat and lounge, which I guess I relate to that. Remember when I tweeted that, like, it was some kind of SpongeBob meme, I don't know, but it was like all my other signs, my Leo sun trying to convince all my other placements to go out, because yeah, okay, Leo, whatever, but all my other placements, bitch, Virgo, Taurus, Cancer, like I just want to sit in the house and chill. which is why I'm so good at doing that, I guess. But then I'm like, no, I gotta pop off and be the center of attention. Anyway. We will deal with matters in a more stubborn and inflexible way, which will help bring us towards our dreams. I feel like that's usually the opposite of what one hears. Like, usually they're like, be flexible. The universe will show you the path you need to take. This is like, no. We will be more creative and driven towards what we want. Taurus is all about prioritizing what you want. So be a little selfish this month. Is that why Taurus guys are like that? No offense. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts on a Taurus are, even if you are one. Do you fuck with other Tauruses? Have you ever dated a Taurus? Have you ever fucked a Taurus? What's the tea? Let us know in the comments below. Full moon in Scorpio. You know what I love is that Trish is a Taurus and now Moses is a Scorpio, and that's like, you know, the opposite. So that's like a perfect match. But I don't think I could be, because the opposite of Leo is Aquarius. I don't know if I could be with an Aquarius. Like, not that I have beef, but I just never really, like, I don't know. Again, like, not really relatable. Sorry. The relatable signs to me are, like, Virgos and Cancers. And, like, sometimes a Sag. But, I don't know. Like, other Leos usually aren't really that relatable to me. Like, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Okay, well, this is a little tea, I guess. I feel like I talked about this last time, but I guess there's kind of an update. So basically on TikTok, I made a video about how, you know, we're so often taught as women or told that, you know, our early 20s are like our prime, and like, it's just downhill from there. Like, you better enjoy it while you have, because after age 25, you're just useless. And especially when it comes to, like, modeling or acting or, you know, just a lot of industry paths. It's like, well, sorry, you're too old, and they'll be like 26. And what I have really noticed and learned from women, from following women on social media, on Twitter, on TikTok, wherever, every fucking woman says that their 30s are so much better than their 20s. It's like, you're smarter, you have more money, you're not a dumb bitch as much, you're more stable, typically you look better. And I feel like, especially looking at so many celebrities who are now in their 30s and 40s, but who were like famous in their 20s or even younger, I just feel like it's like they usually always look better. Because I don't know, I feel like a lot of your 20s, especially your early 20s, it's like you're still finding yourself and like what you like and what your style is. And like, I don't know, I know at least for me, like, I'll look back at shit I wore last year and be like, ew, what was I thinking? So I can only imagine, like, as time goes on, I'll develop a more stable sense of like, okay, this is me, this is my style, like, this is it, baby. So I don't know, it just makes sense to me. So I made a TikTok about that, and then I was like, you have to really think that, like, again, I think I talked about this last week, but we're going to add on to it. So then I said, you know, it's weird that guys will, you know, the statistic, like, guys will always want to date a woman that's 22, whereas women, no matter what age they are, they'll typically want to date within that age range. It goes up as they go up, versus like only dating 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds. So I made this TikTok, and so at first it was like, you know, just the OGs, whatever. And then somehow it got into like disgusting guy TikTok. And like so many men were commenting about how like, well, yeah, that's because a woman who's 18 is at peak fertility. Obviously, we're going to find them the most attractive. And just like exposing themselves for being like gross and disgusting, whereas all the women commenting were like, yeah, I found this true for me, or like, yeah, I'm so excited to get older now, like, I'm so glad that we have this perspective. Because I feel like, especially before the internet, and especially what the internet was today, so much of the media that we consumed was just mainstream media curated by, you know, the men of Hollywood or the men of this industry or that industry. And therefore it's like not real. It's like a man's perception of like what a woman should look like or should be or should act, or like how they are at this age or that age. And it's not like a woman telling you from experience, like, this is what it's like at this age or whatever, you know? Whereas now it's like anyone can tweet, anyone can make a TikTok, which can, you know, be horrible in some ways. But also it's like we just get exposed to so many different perspectives and ideas and like firsthand experiences. So we don't have to rely on like a movie to show us what, oh, my coming of age at 16. It's like, what the fuck? I still feel like I'm in a coming of age, like, not even like a movie, but just like stage, you know? So all these unrealistic perspectives were like taught to us. And so I feel like a lot of it is like unlearning through our own experiences, but then also like listening to people who have actually gone through stuff. And that also makes you think, you know, when you see dumbasses say like, oh, well, how come everyone has different pronouns these days, or like this or that? It's like, you think this is a new idea? Like, I feel like if anything, people are more comfortable like sharing, being who they are, but also like sharing that. And then I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people know that there's other people out there like them, no matter like what it is. That just came to mind because that's like, some people get so like offended by that. It's like, oh my God. So I don't know. It's like people can connect. I feel like the power of social media, like the pro, is that people can connect and like feel less alone, honestly, because otherwise, you know, in the olden days, or even just like before the internet was what it was, before fucking Twitter and, you know, whatever, before Tumblr, God, it was like, going way back, like you really just hear stuff from TV, magazines, movies, books, people in your hometown. So, you know, just look at, I don't know, it's just crazy. So anyway, it pissed me off that, you know, here we have women in the comments literally saying, yeah, that was my experience, or this is my experience, or whatever. Then all these guys are like completely missing the point of what I'm saying, which is like, we don't have to stress about our prime being over, because it's really just begun. And our prime in the sense of like how we view ourselves, the money that we're making, the things we've achieved, not our prime as in like, how many guys want to fuck me? And that's how I guess all these men took it as, like, well, technically I would rather fuck a 20-year-old than a 30-year-old, even though I'm 45. So you're wrong. You don't even know what I'm saying. I think I feel like I've said this too, but I think another thing I've really become appreciative of is that, you know, you do get to hear a lot of people's perspectives on social media. So therefore, you know how a lot of guys actually think. And it's really disturbing for the most part. So it just makes you have all the more reason to avoid them. I don't know. I feel like, though, sometimes I try to be like, not careful, because I don't want to come across as like, I don't want to be rude. Ew. But I just don't want to have this like attitude of like, oh, like just being hateful everywhere, which not saying that like talking about these issues is that, but I don't know. It's like, I'm still going to go out, and if I get attention and it's like, you know, attention that I want, I'm going to like enjoy that. But I feel like part of like this education, you know, about like patriarchy and like why things are the way they are, and gender roles and like gender expectations and what's expected of me in society, or what's expected of me by men, whatever. It's like, I feel like a lot of it comes down to like decentering that and instead focusing on like, what do I actually want? Like, what would actually benefit me and make me feel good? And like, when do I feel like I'm doing the right thing for me? Like, not, oh, what is my future husband gonna think? Or, oh no, what is this guy gonna think? Or like, I don't know. Ugh. But like, genuinely, what do I want? Dude, I just keep thinking of like season 1, Jersey Shore. Vinny's mom first comes to visit and she brings so much food. She's like cooking for all of them, cooking for all the roommates and the family. And they're all like, wow, Vinny's mom, like, that's what a real woman is. And they're describing like a real Italian woman serves everybody, waits till everybody is done, and then cleans everything, and then she can eat. And that is what a true woman does. And then even Snooki's like, I want to be like that. Like, that is like, you just sacrifice so much and you put everybody before yourself. Like, literally says this. Like, word for word. And then she's like, that's what I want to be. And it's like, that's kind of, it's like, okay, whatever works for you. But I feel like so much of this is like subconscious that we don't even like choose it. We just go along with it, you know? I feel like there's a difference between like choosing it and then just kind of like falling into it because it's the tradition, or that's what we always did, or that's what we did at the old house. So I don't know. I just feel like it's definitely a practice. But I feel like, as always, it's like the more you're aware of it, the more you can catch yourself like, oh my God, like viewing yourself through the male gaze, or like just maybe you're like bending your boundaries for this guy a little bit because you like him and you like want to be with him, and you're like, oh, I want to prove to him that I would be a good girlfriend, or that I would like, I don't know. It's like so many little things that are so like ingrained in how I feel like a lot of us act. And it's like, not that I'm saying that in like a judgmental way. It's like, bitch, I've lived it and I've done it and I've done those things. And I have like at times just been so obsessed with like a guy or whatever that it was like at the cost of my own boundaries or my own life and like what actually would be the best for me. So I feel like it's just been a lot of like unlearning. I don't know. It's just very interesting. So it's like not like I want to be mad, like walking around mad all the time. And I mean, not to say that that is not justified, because bitch, that is completely valid, honestly. Like, ew. Especially when like disgusting shit goes down, you're not just like, you know, contemplating on like society. It's like, ew, some guy actually does some fucked up shit to you, or like a random on the street. Bitch, that is completely worth being whatever emotion over, because that is horrifying. But as far as just like, I don't know, I'm making a TikTok. I'm on IG. I don't know. It's just really interesting. And I feel like me and my friend were actually just talking about this. We were talking about like people that both of us had been friends with in the past, and just like how, to put it not lightly, horrible some of those people were, and just like how much we regret having that friendship or whatever. Especially like a lot of friendships with guys, because I feel like a lot of guys will like pretend to be your friend, but it's really just because they're attracted to you. Whatever, y'all fucking know the vibes. But my friend had a really good point and said, you know, now we know what to look for. Like, these are the red flags, and like you can only really learn and move on from the experience. Like, yeah, it's okay to regret something, or like be like, damn, I wish I had seen the signs sooner or whatever. But it's like, now you know, so you can know, you know that you'll most likely never be in that situation again. So it's kind of like the bright side. But yeah, this kind of ties into the point of like, I really feel like every year that I get older, I become wiser, smarter, learning more about the world around me. And I don't know, it's like you just really have to look at things like from a third person perspective. Let me know your thoughts on any of this. I feel like this was kind of all over the place, but it's just a lot of things that I've been thinking about. So let me know your thoughts. I honestly did not really plan that much for this week's podcast, so let me know what you want me to talk about next week. Also, exciting announcement, it has probably already been announced by now, but I will be attempting daily vlogs every day until my 6 weeks of BBL recovery is up. I really need the project, and I thought might as well create some content, you know? So it's kind of going to be like a mini Vlogmas in April. springtime Vlogmas. We're not calling it Vlogmas, but I can't wait for Vlogmas this year. Oh my God. Anyway, love you guys so much. Don't forget to post this on your story. And, oh, the movie recording stopped. Okay, that's great. Love you guys, and I will see you next week.